All right, the video you're about to see is one of our meetings, and First Amendment Auditors meeting. We've done quite a few of them, and this one is up on PNP News In Depth, which I've been putting the longer videos over there. But I was rethinking, they're not getting seen very much because I haven't been pushing that channel, which is PNP News In Depth. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to place this first one up here. Some of you have already seen it because you've been to that channel. Let me know if you want to see these kind of meetings and discussions here on the main channel, PNP News. I'd like to, for y'all's opinion, leave them in the comments. For y'all trolls, don't bother. I just want people that are subscribed to me that are honestly here to get, give me some feedback. If you come in, I'm just going to give me some BS. I'm just going to delete your comment. So here comes the video. Leave me some feedback, and God, I'm going to have to quit grabbing my microphone. I know y'all are hearing that when I do that. So anyway, we'll talk to you later. Let me know what you think. Well, and I've said this before, and I don't know if it's been on one of the videos, but I know somebody who was in the OSI for a long, long time. And he even told me himself that when you're on base, you have to be careful about what your jurisdiction is, because just because it's on base doesn't mean it's their jurisdiction. Just like when we were in Corpus and you saw that gate running off that property.
Right.
That property that gate goes to may not be base property. It could be belonging to a farmer or a rancher that's still inside that base boundary, but they have no jurisdiction over it.
Yeah. Yeah. Jurisdiction's a funny thing. And when it comes to dealing with civilians, they have got to be extra, extra careful. And in this case, they weren't. And it's going to bite them in the ass. Elijah's going to end up suing them, and he's going to win. They'll settle because they're wrong.
And they should have known better, though.
They should know better, but here's the thing. Nobody's ever challenged them on it before. So they had no reason to know better. But that just comes back to their response. Their response should have been more moderate. We're not putting a civilian in jail. We're just going to tell him to leave, and if he leaves, fine. And if he doesn't, well, then we'll do something. They didn't give him that chance. They came out there with the attitude of, you're a civilian, you don't belong here, we're going to put you in jail. Well, guess what? That's going to cost you.
Yeah.
And if I find out who that captain is, and I will in time, when I find out who he is, I'm going to get this enlisted guy off the hook, and I'm going to hang that captain by his toes.
Yeah, that'd be good. If you find out that's true, that it was the captain that, did that. Even
Elijah's already said it's true. Elijah said it's true.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. He did. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah. But I still think the trooper, the guy that, the sergeant or whatever it was, he wasn't even a sergeant, was he?
Yeah, he's a E5, I believe.
Okay.
A sergeant in the Air Force, though, is an E4, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
I think.
Okay. Well, he was just promoted. And
he still should have known better.
I agree. But I didn't hear the conversations. He may have known better. He may have objected to the arrest. I don't know. I didn't hear that conversation. So, but what I do know is that officer stepped up and said, bring the charges. So Glendale knew better and wanted to play, and that captain should have known better. So, like I said, when I find out who that captain is, and I will, when I get Elijah's paperwork, I'm going to hang that captain out to dry.
And I'm going to tell you this, and this is, you can say it's my opinion or whatever. This is my experience. I'll put it this way. So I've been around all branches of military, and I can specifically say, and maybe y'all can say different if you've seen it, but I can definitely say with the Army and Marines, you will never see them do that type of stuff ever. I've never seen it, and I myself being in the Army, I know the Constitution means a lot when it comes to because you take an oath and you could die for that crap. Because we're the ground troops, you know what I'm saying? Grunts,
Yeah.
So it's a little, I don't know. That's a very strong thing to mess with when it comes to. But I see the Air Force, and maybe it's because the Air Force, they have a lot more of the intelligence stuff, and they get more stressed out about that or something. I don't know. But if you go near an Army or Marine base, they may come out or whatever, but they will never go as far as putting you in cuffs, man. That's just nuts.
I agree.
Nuts, man.
Yeah, that was when I was in the Army. Of course, it's been a lot longer than you know you are today. You know, it was the late 70s, early 80s when I was in the Army, and I could tell you when it came to deal, because I was an MP in the Army, and when it came to dealing with civilians, okay, we were hands off to the greatest degree possible, and that includes dependents. They didn't want us doing it. What we would do is you call the service member and you tell him to do it. You know, you settle your family down, or we're going to do something different. You know, if it came to something different, we called the civilian authorities in for the county sheriff in.
You know what they do now? In the military now, well, definitely the Army and Marines I can speak for. The Marine, I mean, you still go to the brig or whatever, but like, for instance, if you disobey an NCO, and definitely in the Army, if you disobey the orders of an NCO or whatever, you could call the MPs, but now you can't do that. It's administrative action now.
I didn't know that.
But the standards are a little bit higher now, but used to, and this is when I was in, earlier when I was in, they still had that. If you disobeyed the order of an NCO or an officer in general, you could call the MPs. The MPs would, obviously check into it, and if it was valid, they'd arrest you.
But look how many videos. Look how many videos there are out there of us doing bases and some of the other guys doing bases.
Yeah,
I don't even know how many bases we've done. There's so many of them out there. I can't see how one base in this country couldn't know.
Yeah,
it's amazing, isn't it?
And do they not share information at all? Do they not look at the internet? Do they not read anything? Do they just?
Well, we know the Coasties look at our videos.
Yeah, at least one.
Yeah.
Well, we know that they look at mine too, because when I did that with EOG, they came out with rifles and everything on EOG. I was backup camera for him, and then this last one, the cop came out. He started talking to me.
We got a really bad connection with you now. I don't know if you moved in your house to where you got a bad connection or something, but it's going south bad.
Let me see. Is this any better?
Yes.
Okay. What I said was I was backup camera for EOG, and the Coasties came out on him with rifles and everything else. When I just did my audit up there with EOG backing me up, the cop came out and a helicopter flew overhead. He got tired and just said, screw it. I'm not going to even deal with this.
Yeah, when they show up with helicopters on us, we video the helicopters.
Yeah.
And then request the footage.
Yeah.
Oh, was that with Philip?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
and I got
they got us that night. They followed us in the truck. They got the guys. The helicopter knew what was going on. They knew that there was just two guys standing at the corner with the guns on their shoulders, over their backs, and that there was nothing going on. The helicopter knew that. It was there 5 minutes before the cops ever got there. All right. And another cop called in and said, I'm right across the street and there's no gunshots. So it was a bunch of bullshit. That sergeant even said on the radio, well, we'll just use that then to get him, or something similar to that. Well, they knew exactly what they were doing.
Well, I went round and round with a guy today about 18795. And he was the buddy of, or no, he's not the buddy of the airman. He is the administrator for Unblock, Cop Block, or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Cop Block Exposed.
Yes.
Is that Cohen? His name's Cohen.
Yes.
You know about him, right? I got a video talking about him. Y'all watch that video I did about him.
I don't know about him. Somebody told me he was a murderer or something.
Yeah, David, it's on my channel, dude. Remember that channel where I have that real fast music? Anyway, go to it. You'll see it. I expose that.
Okay, I'll go check it out. Well, anyway, going back and forth with him, he is an ex-military policeman for the Air Force. And And, you know, the first thing he threw at me was, you know, 18795. And,
the arrest report.
Yeah. And then I know a lot of you guys, you see Jerry Bushman that comments on videos frequently. If you look through your video comments, you'll see he's a regular on all of our videos.
All of ours, yeah.
Yeah. Well, he threw in and, you know, was telling them, you know, 795 is no good. The Supreme Court, or not Supreme Court, just about every circuit court in the United States has ruled, you know, public photography is good to go.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, of course, and I threw my 2 cents worth in there, which was, you know, 18795 is, there is actually a criminal case that they prosecuted folks for, and I'll have to pull it up, but the circuit court said, you know, no, public photography, they can stand on a hill and take pictures, and if they can see the base, well, then don't do top secret shit, you know, where they can see it from the public roadway.
Yeah.
If they're on the public roadway and they can see it, they can take pictures of it. And he just could not get it. He just would not listen. But I was going to have a perfect example for 18795. Area 51 is the most classified facility in the United States, period.
Yep.
And there is a mountain range near it that the government actually about 10 years ago, I think it was, actually annexed that to keep people away from Area 51. But you could stand on that mountain range and take pictures of Area 51, and the government could do nothing about it.
Yeah, I remember back in the day watching some of those videos, and now you don't see them from that spot anymore.
Right. Yeah. Well, they tried to prosecute a couple people with that 18795, and it would not fly. The circuit courts, every single one of them, struck it down.
Well, Cohen said I was screwed too, so there you go. For that video that we won't talk about here, but
yeah.
The one we can't talk about yet. Well, we will someday.
Oh yeah. Well, gag order, but whatever. Maybe that'll happen, but I don't know. Whatever.
Collins, he's a dummy.
Everybody knows it anyway. Everybody knows the whole, so it don't matter. So whatever. But yeah, I mean, that guy's an idiot, man. It's like he jumps to conclusions, and it's just like, oh, I know everything. He did. It's like, no, dude. He thinks he knows the laws. But I'll tell you what happened. He was a reserve. He wasn't even a full-time cop. He was like a reserve cop or something. And he killed a dude. And he wasn't even working as a cop at the time he killed him. He was working as a security guard. Freaking killed the dude. Shot him right in his truck. And the dude was trying to get away. Shot him. Yep.
And they filed on him and convicted him.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got his jail cell picture right on my freaking numbers.
Did y'all
go look at it.
Did y'all see that video from Florida where that guy's sitting in the truck in the police department waiting on his wife, and they come give him a hard time?
Yeah, I posted that video in Pinac and got him all the attention he got. What a bunch of dumbasses.
No shit.
Was that the one where he was filming running a stop sign?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched it again today. I ran across it again and said, oh, I got to watch this again.
It's hilarious, and they're clueless.
But Cohen also, there was another guy. His name was Ryan Weems, right? And he criticized this guy, blah, 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 blah. And anyway, it was just someone that disagreed with him, and they would discuss. He was like, no, that's not right, you know. And just people who disagree, right? So he took that guy and said his real name is Arthur Weems, and it was some guy that was in jail for like assault and all this craziness, right? And he was actually jail for a while. And he was trying to say that Ryan Weems was this guy in jail, man. I did research, dude. I was like, look, man, send me your ID. We'll black out, whatever, and I'll prove it to him. And sure enough, dude, he retracted a retraction. Arthur Weems and Ryan Weems. That's in my video, man. It's in my video. Watch, yeah.
Do you know who Cop Block Exposed is? Who runs that?
Colin.
Yeah, I have the name.
It's not Colin.
It's not Cop Block. I know they had that rumor going around.
It's true.
No.
Yeah, Severin. I know Severin. He doesn't deny it. He said absolutely. He said they were playing both sides of the street. Cop Block is a money-making organization. It's not about cop blocking and all that stuff. It's about making money, period.
It don't surprise me.
Yeah, I love it. I thought that was a stroke of genius.
Wait a minute. Who is it?
You know, Severin Friedman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
You don't know that?
Yes, he's
No,
serious.
I even pulled the guy Cohen. I got his full name. I've got his petition to the court. He's trying to do a dismissal on his charge. I mean, I've got like all kinds of information. I took a bunch of screenshots today on Exposed.
All I know is Cohen's a real guy. I know that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
he is. He's just a guy they made the admin on it. That's all.
The loser, I know that. He's delivering pizzas right now. I know that.
Oh, is that what he does?
Yeah, I have the screenshot of that too, where he locked his keys in the car and locked his customer's pizza inside the locked car.
Hey, really, that page, all I care about is him. That I thought they can have any opinion they want. And it's like I could care less about the cop block. I'm not with. I have no affiliation with the cop block. It has nothing to do with that. It's about him. You know?
Yeah. Well, he's definitely an idiot.
Yeah.
But you know, that's why they do it, because the more controversial it is, the more attention it draws. You know, so they got something for everyone. They got a website for the cop haters, and they got a website for the pro-police bootlickers.
Yeah.
I mean,